Hey, what is going on, everybody? Happy Monday! I hope you enjoyed a weekend of Team Affinity Season 1, Chapter 2, Mouthful. Grinding. We're here. It's the 10-Minute Mailbag. I am here to answer your questions. In the 10-Minute Mailbag, you send me your MLB The Show 24 questions. I give you my answers. You can put these questions in the comments down below for next week, or you can join the Discord. The Discord channel is in the description. There is a channel within the Discord dedicated entirely to the 10-Minute Mailbag. Put your questions there for a chance to be featured. A honor bestowed upon you next week. This series, of course, is not possible without all of your engagement, all of your questions, all of your comments. So thank you guys for making it possible. And without any further ado, let's just hop right on in to 4 really good questions. As always, I've got 10 minutes on the clock, and we're going to knock out some questions. So in 3, 2, 1, begin. Our first question today comes from Brian Koch. It was really less of a question, more of just a comment, but I see where he's coming from. Brian, content pacing? What content? There isn't any. You're not wrong. SDS this year seems to be trending towards the belief that packs are content. They're not. Packs are not content. Packs are purchasable items to give you cards to use. Content, based on my definition, is something a game creates that I have to participate in for either enjoyment or to achieve something. For example, The Show Classics pack. It has 2 really interesting cards in it. I guess 3. 4. It's got some interesting cards in it, let's put it that way. It's just a pack. 40,000 stubs for a pack. And that's not content, in my opinion. That is a pack. You want to make it content, you can create it as a program, give me a pack within the program, and then also have that pack be purchasable separately in the shop. Now, we've learned that we are getting, on April 26th, I'm conveniently covering it, please hold on, inconveniently covering it, I should say, boom. On April 26th, see it now? We're getting a Show Classics program. That is a full 2 weeks after the pack dropped. Maybe that means they learned, and they're giving us the content we're yearning for. Maybe it was always planned this way, and it's just poorly thought out. I don't know. But packs are not content. And so it has seemed like there is less to do this year because there has been less to do. There have been fewer programs. You can also see above my head we're getting a program today, on Monday, the Jackie Robinson Day program. I don't know what that's going to yield. We'll see, I guess. It's going to be hopefully something that requires an hour or 2 to do, and maybe it gives you something fun, some packs, some stubs, some XP, who knows. It's not going to be a deep program. The Jackie Robinson program is never a deep program, but it's a program nonetheless. So, Brian, I agree entirely. I'm hoping the content starts becoming content soon. So thank you for your comment and for being there. Updog from the Discord. Updog with the first ever Discord question read on the 10-Minute Mailbag. I've seen some top players talk about using a player's leg kick to help with timing of their swing, but every time I try, I get too distracted by the leg kick to focus on the pitch. Is it something you use? Is it worth practicing and getting the hang of? So, Updog, that's called tempoing, based on my understanding of how it works. And that's about where my understanding of how it works stops, because I don't know how to do it. I mean, I might be doing it without even knowing. I don't think I am, though. The way I perceive it is that a player's leg kick and the timing of the leg kick is indicative of the type of pitch coming, off-speed versus fastball. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't pay attention to it clearly enough. Maybe I'm wrong here, and please correct me if I am, but I feel like it's like a meme in the community. People who tempo or like, I don't know. I always see like snarky comments about it on Twitter. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not trying to start a beef if there isn't one, but it's just the way I've interpreted comments I've read. Some pitchers have some tells. Some hitters have the leg kick that, would indicate what pitch is coming. My best suggestion to get better at hitting, regardless of whether you tempo or not, is to just spend an inning trying to learn, or spend 2 innings if you're playing, if you're playing ranked, spend a few innings just learning your opponent's tendencies. More often than not, they will repeat sequences and repeat locations and repeat strategies of pitching lefty to righty. That's the best way, in my opinion, to get better at hitting, is just to pick up on tendencies. I'm a tendencies guy. I store pitches and store sequences in my memory. I know that maybe my opponent loves to start all lefties off with first pitch fastballs low and away. Guess where I'm sitting? Right there. Some opponents like to throw one particular pitch so much more than others. Some pitchers will never throw a fastball, but they'll throw a bunch of sliders. Start sitting slider. I'm more of a tendencies guy. I guess tempoing works if you're smart enough to figure it out. I, however, am not. So, Updog, thank you for being part of the Discord, and thank you for your question. Scott, with the second ever Discord question on the channel. He is the first, however, Discord commenter, so there's that. New ranked, event, and BR all happen to line up on the same day this week, as in on Friday when Team Affinity dropped. Going forward, do you see that being an issue if that is the new norm? I think BR and ranked should be on alternate 2-week cycles. Events are every 2 weeks anyway, so it's inevitable that that's going to land on the same day as a ranked or a BR. With the way content has been so sparse, and it seemed like there's nothing to do, I would love if they could start alternating some stuff. Now, the reason they couldn't alternate things from the beginning is because the game dropped at, it started at 0. So everything was like, all right, 4 weeks from now, boom, 2 weeks from now, boom. I wouldn't mind a shorter BR program pretty soon, just to reset that cadence and give it so even if it's like there's a week's difference, it's better than having it all at the same day. There have been games in the past, 22, 23, where there was so much to do in terms of ranked and BR and events and stuff that it seemed like you could never play the mode you actually wanted to play because you had to catch up on what you were not playing. Keeping everything on the same day continues that problem. So I would like to see a world in which they space it out just a little bit. Because sometimes I just want to be a ranked guy for 2 weeks. Sometimes I want to be a BR guy for 2 weeks. I don't want to pop back and forth because I think that actually makes me worse at both modes. Because it's different pitch speeds, different strategies, different etc. So yes, I would like, I don't know if it's an issue per se, but I would like to see them on different cadences. Scott, as always, thank you for your questions. Our final question today, Tyler O'Brien from YouTube. Have you experienced or had an issue with freeze-offs? Playing ranked in events, I encountered a couple times where I was winning and freeze-off caused me to lose. Thoughts or comments? So this year, knock on wood, I personally have not had problems with freeze-offs. I personally have not had problems with any weird disconnects, other than a couple days ago when my internet went into an outage while I was in the middle of a game. That's not the game's problem. That's Xfinity's problem. Xfinity, you suck. Last year, however, I had significant problems early in the game cycle where I would load into a game, I'd be up a few runs, or it'd be the first inning, and then out of nowhere, my game would just disconnect. That was not an Xfinity problem, because I had checked all my other devices, everything was connected great. That was an MLB The Show problem. This year, no such problem. My internet is exactly the same, nothing has changed. It seems to be incredibly random. I know freeze-offs are still a problem. I'm not out here saying they're not. All I'm saying is this year my experience is that I have not experienced freeze-offs. It is annoying. The way I understand it is that, like, there is very clearly a problem in, like, the original coding that is either incredibly minute and difficult to find or potentially disastrous if that code gets fixed, and then a million other things break. We've seen that happen once or twice or 15 times. That's why when players report hyper-specific intentional freezing things, those issues can get fixed. Because they're so hyper-specific that SDS can go into the code, this is the issue, this is the problem, this is what causes it, what triggers it, I can fix that. But this blanket freezing thing has a lot to do with that original code. It has a lot to do with potentially crossplay connection. I play with crossplay on, but if you struggle with crossplay connectivity issues, I suggest just turning it off entirely. Old gen communication with new gen, or current gen. Stop calling it new gen, it's current gen. There are a lot of things. Bad server strength, period, just in general. The servers are weak. They don't have enough server strength. There are a lot of things that go into freezes, and I am not out here saying that we have to accept them. We shouldn't. But it's nothing new. Like, these are the freeze issues we've had for years. Perhaps that makes it more frustrating. When in doubt, I know time's up, but I'm going to keep going. When in doubt, if you do have a disconnect, I suggest just restarting your Wi-Fi in your home. That might help. You never know. Like, even if it was a game issue, it might just help to reset your Wi-Fi. I hope it stops happening. Last year I had freezes for like the first week or two, and then they pretty much went away. I hope the same happens this year. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for the 10-minute mailbag, the first ever 10-minute mailbag to merge Discord into the equation. So make sure you join the Discord. We do a lot more than just the 10-minute mailbag in there. We've got a chat always popping off with stuff about the game. We've got a bunch of channels. We've got fantasy baseball. We've got everything. So join the Discord. Be part of this fun little community. And thank you guys for making it to the end. I, of course, love you all. And I will see you next time.